Hello, hello, and welcome. Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Otis Landerholm. We are live. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 17th of November of 2022. My name's Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. And thank you for joining me here. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. And the question that I want to put out there today is, how do I apply for a U visa if I have a criminal record? All right. And so we want to answer that question, and welcome, and thanks so much for being here. All right. Remember, the Empowered Immigrant Live is here to train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants to make the most out of immigration laws and to make the most out of their lives. All right. And my question for you is, do you want to get a green card? All right. Do you want to come out of the shadows? Do you want to apply for something? Do you want to at least see what your options are to maybe be able to apply for something? Or do you want to strategize what you could be doing now to give yourself the best opportunity, the best option to be able to come out of the shadows and apply for immigration benefits in the future, right? Because if so, I'd love to help you. My office would love to help you. We are here to help, okay? Today our theme is, how do I apply for a U visa if I have a criminal record? And, much of what we will talk about is similar to how to apply for anything if I've got a criminal record. It's like we want to discuss it. And so thanks to everyone who asked their questions. I have received several questions already, and we're open. So if you have questions, submit them, and I want to answer them today. All right? That's part of what we're here to do. So welcome and thank you. Before we get into it, I always like to do a couple of tips at the outset. Tip number one, you probably saw the news last week regarding TPS. TPS has been extended for El Salvador, Honduras, Nepal, and Nicaragua through the summer of 2024. All right? And so if you have TPS from those countries, and if you want to strategize how to get travel documents, or if you are eligible for travel documents, let's talk those through. And if you want to renew your work permit, things like that, let's talk those through. Love for you to get full benefits of your TPS extension. All right. Now for my empowerment tip, it's real quick. I want to encourage everybody to be grateful. All right. Like, take a moment. What are you grateful for? All right. Like, Thanksgiving is next week. The holidays are right around the corner. And at the same time, there's so much division out there. There's so much complaining out there. All right? And I want to encourage you to turn that off. The division, the complaining, I can't believe he or she said this, or, And let's turn that off, and instead let's be grateful. All right, gratitude. It's like when people can focus on having an attitude of gratitude, all right, your results will improve. When your attitude improves, your results improve. And in my opinion and in my experience, it also improves the quality of every area of your life. Okay? So don't go through life complaining, frustrated, divided, disconnected. Be grateful and share your gratitude with others. It brings life back to life. All right? Anyway, that's my empowerment tip for today. Hope it's useful. Hope it's helpful. Thank you all for being here. So let's get into the topic. The topic is U visas. We're talking about U visas. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's Thursday, the 17th of November of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing. All right, we're talking about U visas and how do I qualify for a U visa if I've got a criminal record? Well, the basics, right? A U visa, what are we even talking about? It's a visa for victims of crimes, all right? So if you've been a victim of a crime, what they call a qualifying crime, so there's a certain list of crimes. If you have questions about that, feel free to see several of the other videos we've done on that topic. And if you've cooperated with law enforcement in the investigation or the prosecution of that crime, you might be eligible for a U visa. Okay? And, if that crime happened in the U.S., it had to have happened in the U.S. Okay? But what happens if you yourself have a criminal record? Many people are afraid. I'm afraid to even apply because I have a DUI from a few years ago. Or I'm afraid, I had a theft offense from when I was young and stupid. I stole something from Walmart or something, right? Some others, or maybe some other issue. Somebody's got a record in their case. They might be very afraid to do anything with immigration. All right? And so the question is, if somebody has a criminal record, some problem that they have on their record from the past, is it still possible to get a U visa? Right? Is it still possible to get a U visa? And that's what I'm here to tell you. Are you ready? Are you ready for the answer? The answer is yes. In one word, the answer is yes. Yes, it is possible to win a U visa even with a criminal record. Okay? It is. All right? And my office has done it all the time. We love doing this. All right? U visas are amazing. Remember, the U visa is essentially a tool for law enforcement. Right? So if a person was the victim of a crime and cooperated with law enforcement can certify your U visa and USCIS can approve it. The U visa comes with strong waivers. Those waivers are discretionary, and I need to be clear about that. The waivers with the U visa, yes, it is possible to win a U visa even with a criminal record, and it's discretionary. So it's not easy, possible, but not easy. All right? It's not straightforward when a person has an arrest history. All right? So, what do we do? And in our office, how do we strategize this? Here's how I was trained. Here's how a lot of immigration lawyers were trained. And if you have an immigration lawyer who's sharing this with you, then they're on the right track. All right? They're on the right track. Here's what you want to show. You want to show what we call the 3 R's. All right? The 3 R's. What are they? 1, you want to show remorse. If you committed a crime in the past, you want to show that you're sorry for what you did. All right? I apologize for having done that. That was wrong of me for having done that, whatever it was. All right? The second R is responsibility. You want to take responsibility. You want to take 100% responsibility for your actions. All right? I had a DUI from 2012. I was stupid, immigration officer. I was stupid for having done that. I should have called my wife to come and pick me up, right? But we were in a fight or whatever, or I was embarrassed or whatever. And so I was stupid, and I thought that I was sober enough. I got behind the car and I drove home. Well, that was really stupid of me because I could have really hurt somebody, right? That's taking responsibility. You don't blame it on anybody else, right? Immigration wants to see that. And the third R is you want to show rehabilitation, and that's probably the most important of all of them. Okay? And that is you want to show that you're reformed, that you will never commit any other offense, crime, never be arrested ever again for the rest of your life. You want to show, you want to do such a thorough job with that immigration is like, oh, okay, this was clearly a one-time incident where your judgment was off at that time years ago, and now we see that you are, not going to recommit any issue. Okay, like you want immigration to want to give you the benefits, and part of the lawyer's job, part of our job, is to help you strategize. How do we do that? Okay, and so, for example, right? Imagine you have 2 DUIs in your record, even if they're from several years before. If that's the situation, my advice would be to stop drinking, right? It's not the issue isn't drinking. The issue isn't just drinking and driving. The issue is drinking at all. Okay? And so what I would recommend is stop drinking 100% right now. All right? Until you file your U visa and until that U visa is approved and through getting your green card. All right? Like you want to treat your immigration case, you want to treat your whole life seriously, but you want to treat your immigration case seriously, so much so that you can show how seriously you take this to an immigration officer reviewing your paperwork, so that the officer can see it, the officer can sense it, the officer can feel it, and can be like, okay, this guy, we're going to give him a shot. Okay? Like that's what you want. That's what you want. And same idea for any criminal record. That's the way to handle it. All right? You almost overcompensate for what happened in the past with evidence of remorse, responsibility, and rehabilitation. If you do that, if you take that on 100%, it will improve your chances of winning a U visa, all right, or whatever the immigration application you're filing for. Yeah, that's what I wanted to explain today. That's it. That's what I wanted to explain. So thank you so much for being here. I hope that was helpful. If you have questions, please send them in. And now I want to get to your questions. I am getting several questions. And so thanks, everybody, for being here. The first question that I see right now comes from Tilema. All right, Tilema, thank you. Tilema, you say, how come the U.S. Embassy told me that it's not a matter of my documents, he still cannot give me a visa because my situation, you say I have to clear my name from depart. I don't know what that means. How come the U.S. Embassy says it doesn't matter about your documents, he still can't give you a visa? Question number 1, what type of visa are you applying for? All right. Question number 2, where do they say that they have to clear your name from? Like, have you been to the U.S. before? Has there been some problem in the past that we should be aware of? I would need more information, Tilema, to get you a good answer to that question. If you'd rather, and the truth is sometimes the U.S. Embassy, they'll deny a case sometimes they'll deny a visa. Like if it's a tourist visa, completely discretionary and completely up to the consular officer. They can just deny it for no reason whatsoever. All right? Like if they think that you're coming in to stay rather than coming in as a tourist, they'll deny the tourist visa. So I don't know if that's the situation, but if it is, those are very, very hard visa. They're very commonly denied. Okay? And if you want my help or my office's help to really get into it, hey, pick up the phone, give us a call, let's do a consult. We can really look at it and see how we could help you maximize your chances of getting that visa approved. Okay? All right, the next question, and Tilema, thank you for asking that question. I appreciate it. So the next question comes from Ramesh, all right? Ramesh, thank you so much for asking your question. You say you're in the Sacramento area. You say that your wife and you have become naturalized citizens. Congratulations on that. And you have a nephew who's in India, and you want to bring him to the U.S. to stay with you. He wants to do high school and college here in the U.S. What options are there for us? considering adopting him as your child to bring him here. Is that an option? Okay. So one option, so thank you, Ramesh, for asking that question. One option might be to apply for a student visa for the nephew so that the nephew can enter as a student. The adoption process, for everybody watching this, the adoption process is not easy, all right? I often don't recommend doing the adoption process because even if you, here's the way I like to explain it. When there's an adoption, my understanding, I am not an international adoption lawyer. That is a specific niche, all right? My understanding is that when you do an adoption case, that adoption needs to comply with 3 laws, all right? It has to comply with the laws of your home country, in this case, India, all right? It has to comply with the Hague Convention, which is international law on adoptions, all right? Which often, not always, but often means that the parents of the child need to have deceased, all right? Or need to have like formally given up their parental rights, right? And then the third is it has to comply with U.S. law. Those 3, all right? And it's not easy to do those 3, particularly the Hague Convention. And so it's like, okay, we would really need to look that up to give you full advice about that, Ramesh. In my opinion, it'd be a lot simpler to just apply for a student visa for him to come in to study, all right? And lots of people do that. That also isn't, I mean, it's not super straightforward when the kid is in high school, but there's ways to do that, all right? If you need help or a referral. Student visas are not something that my firm currently does, but we could refer you to other firms that can do that and give you advice about it. Okay? All right, we're doing great. We're doing great. Let's see, I've got a couple of other questions. Rahul, hello. You say, how long do U visas take after you get your fingerprints done? Well, so years and years and years. All right. If you file for a U visa right now, expect it to take 15 years. Okay? And I've got videos that explain that backlog and things like that. Bottom line is the U.S. law only allows for 10,000 U visas to be approved every year. And right now there's 150,000, so 15 years worth of U visas pending. So it's going to take 15 years. All right? But you can get a work permit. You can get what we call a bona fide status determination. Typically, right now, I would say after 4 to 5 years, so that you can have a work permit and at least some kind of protection while you're waiting the rest of that time. Okay? So I hope that's helpful, Rahul. If you filed your case earlier, in 2020, 2019, 2018, then it's much less. All right. Every year that it delays, basically they're receiving 30,000-ish U visas every year on average. And so that means every year of a delay means 3 years of waiting. All right, because it's 30,000 visas applied and they can only approve 10,000 per year. So it's an additional 3 years get added. So in other words, if we wait until 2023, now it's going to be 18 years of a wait instead of 15. All right, just to kind of put that in perspective. All right, the next question comes from Alec B. I think this is my last question for the day. Alec B, hello, thank you for being here. You say, so your question is, if I have 2 felony drug offenses in my record, can I still submit paperwork? They are 2 separate incidents, but both were resolved. Both were closed and dismissed at the request of prosecutors. So Alec B, thank you for asking that. And I really appreciate your asking that question. You are not alone in your situation. And the question is, can I still submit paperwork? It depends on the paperwork we're talking about. If you've been the victim of a crime and have cooperated with law enforcement, you might be eligible for a U visa. And can I apply for a U visa if I have 2 felony drug convictions in my record? The answer is yes. All right? It's not easy. It's not simple. You will absolutely need professional help with this, but it's not easy, it's not simple, but it is possible. All right? It might also have some risk with it. All right? And you'll want to be very cautious about how you navigate that, but yes, it is possible. Okay? Family-based processes are not possible with that type of record. They're not possible with that type of record, all right? But U visas are. And so, Alec B., if you have specific questions about that, give us a call. We'd love to help you, all right? We'd love to look at it, go one step at a time, cautious. We'll request all the records first, and then we'll give you a full analysis on what would be the likely outcomes, what are the risks involved, things like that, so that you can make a fully informed decision. Okay? Very good. Next question comes from Anfaluxus Pro Entertainment. All right. Hello. You were on Tuesday also. Great to see your name. I recognize that's a cool name. All right. So I'm not sure what you're doing, but you've got a cool name here. So you say, "Hi, sir. How do I qualify for a U visa since I gave up a false claim to citizenship and I have a deportation on my record? How do I prove that I've been the victim of a crime so I can get qualified for a U visa?" All right, well, the question is, have you ever been the victim of a crime? All right, have you ever been the victim of a crime? If you were the victim of a crime, did you call 911? Did you file a police report? All right, because in order to qualify for a U visa, you have to have helped in the investigation or the prosecution of the crime. And so step one is go to the police department or call them up or write them a letter and request a copy of that police report. And let's look at it. And let's see if it was really a qualifying crime for the U visa. And let's see if you got a case. That's first step. That's first step. And then we can do that. And if you have a case, then we can talk about how to waive the false claim to citizenship and the deportation on your record, because the U visa does have the power to do that. It's one of the only things, one of the only applications that has the power to waive a false claim to citizenship. Okay? Those are all my questions today. That's all I got. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it here on this beautiful Thursday in the Bay Area, San Francisco. Well, I'm in Oakland, California. Great to be with each of you. Thank you all so much. If I haven't answered your question, if you still have a question, hey, please still send it over. I can upload additional videos to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all right? To see those, the best way to do that is to subscribe to our channel in YouTube and hit the notifications bell so you can receive additional legal updates, additional news, see the additional videos that we update, all right? Oh, okay, you do music. You're like a DJ. Is that right? That's a good name. It's a good name for you. And so good work. All right. So thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks to everybody who asked their questions today. I really appreciate that. So Anfaluxus Pro, thank you. Alec, thank you. Rahul, thank you. A couple I missed. Ramesh and Tilema, thank you. Thanks to each of you. All right. And thanks everybody for being here. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I love each of you guys. Thank you all so much. My name is Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration A.P.C., where we fight for your American dream. If you've got an immigration case, please give us a call. We're here to help. We would love to help. And either way, I will see you next time on our next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Live. Be great, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.